I can prove to you that Islam is the one true religion in 25 seconds. The Quran was revealed 1400 years ago, and it predicted that Islam would become the largest religion, and Islam is now the largest religion in the world. It also predicted that the Romans would...
Hey, we're not responding to this yet, AP. No responding even with your laughter. Back to this young genius.
Because it also said that we would have iron come from space, and now we know that meteors have iron, and they come to space, and they hit the Earth. It explains perfectly the expansion of the universe, and that it's ever expanding. We found that out just in the last 100 years. Like, these are miracles that you cannot deny. If this wasn't the one...
You cannot deny them, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot deny these miracles. As lame and terrible as this is to anyone who's been through this 1,000 times, Muslims bombarded him with this stuff, and instead of looking up what they said, he believed it. Islam is the largest religion in the world.
And Islam is now the largest religion in the world.
According to this brilliant young scholar who believes anything he hears from a Dawa guy. What is the world's largest religion? The world's largest religion is Christianity, with an estimated 2.4 billion followers globally. Your first argument is really, really terrible, but there's another point. Islam kind of says everything. And then these guys will fixate on something that looks like it's gotten right? Suppose Islam did not grow into a very large religion, but had just sort of fallen apart instantly. Then guys like this will be quoting this. So this is Sahih Muslim 146. The Messenger of Allah observed, verily Islam started as something strange, and it would again revert to its old position of being strange, just as it started, and it would recede between the two mosques, just as the serpent crawls back into its hole. What's this sound like? It sounds like Islam's going to shrink and just go run and hide like a serpent crawling back into its hole, right? So what is this? So if Islam grows rapidly, they say, oh, this is the proof of Islam. How could this be? And if Islam were to shrink and fizzle out, they would still be, you see, this is the proof. How could Muhammad know that Islam is going to shrink? And this is embarrassing, guys. Quran said that the Romans would defeat the Persians. Guys, it's the Roman Empire. What are the odds if the Romans lose something? They may come back and actually win in a later battle.
Oh, it's impossible.
I don't know, pretty darn good, because that's what they did for centuries. I could claim to be a prophet right now, and I say, the Republicans just had a big victory in the elections. The Democrats will eventually have a victory. And then as soon as someone wins a political race or something like that, a couple years from now, say, you see, this is the proof. That's what happens when you have two groups that are kind of comparable in strength and so on, so that they're going back and forth, so that they go back and forth repeatedly. And then you say, oh, this one won, but this one will too. This one will win later. They've got more problems than that, ladies and gentlemen. Aleph Lam Min. The Romans are vanquished in a near land, and they, after being vanquished, shall overcome within a few years. Allah's is the command before and after, and on that day the believers shall rejoice. So the Romans are vanquished. They lost against the Persians in battle in a near land, and they, after being vanquished, shall overcome. So they're going to come back. They're going to come back and get a victory. This is Sahih al-Bukhari, 5762. So we can ask our little friend here, our little revert friend, why he's contradicting his own prophet. Narrated Aisha. Some people asked Allah's messenger about the foretellers. These are guys who are predicting the future. He said, they are nothing. They said, oh, Allah's messenger, sometimes they tell us of a thing which turns out to be true. What do we do? Says Allah's messenger said, a jinn snatches that true word and pours it into the ear of his friend, the foreteller, as one puts something into a bottle. The foreteller then mixes that word with 100 lies. So think about what they're saying here. Muhammad, I know this guy. He just predicted the future, and it came to pass. He got it right. What am I supposed to do with that? Muhammad says, don't worry at all about that. But Muhammad, it looks supernatural. Guy's getting it right. Yes, it is supernatural. It's because a jinn snuck, and guys, if you go to the longer passages about this is actually connected to the Quran. And sadly, our friend never addresses this when he's talking about the scientific miracles. But according to the Quran, stars are missiles that Allah uses to shoot demons. That's Surah 67:5, Surah 37, 6 through 10. Stars are missiles that Allah uses to shoot demons. The stars you see in the sky, those are missiles that Allah is waiting to hurl at demons. And what happens is you've got Allah, and he's got his council where he's planning and announcing his plans and so on. And the jinn will sneak up there and listen to what Allah is doing. And when Allah finds out about that, when Allah suddenly looks around and sees, because he doesn't know everything, when he looks around and sees, hey, there's a jinn over there listening to my plans, he or one of his angels grabs a star, hurls it at the jinn. And so when you see a shooting star going across the sky, it's because Allah or an angel hurled a star at a demon. From a scientific perspective, it's complete nonsense. You see a shooting star, it's not actually a star. It's a rock that hit the Earth's atmosphere and so on. So sometimes Allah catches him, he hurls a star at him, and that's when you see a shooting star. Sometimes they just get away. And what happens? They run and tell a foreteller, hey, here's what's going to happen. I heard Allah's plan, so I'm telling you what's going to happen. And then the foreteller takes this information, shares it with people, adds his own teachings and stuff to it. So as you saw in the source, adds lies to it. And then people believe the lies because he accurately predicted what would happen. And so you're not supposed to believe the guy because he's taking something, even though he's accurate about that, he made an accurate prediction. He added a bunch of lies to it. Don't believe the guy. In other words, what's Muhammad saying? People who are predicting the future can have actually divine supernatural knowledge about the future, and you still shouldn't believe them. According to that principle, should we believe the Quran if it got this right? Not according to Muhammad. There are more problems. Narrated Abu Sa'id. On the day of the Battle of Badr, the Romans had a victory over the Persians, so the believers were pleased with that. Then the following was revealed. Aleph Lam Mim. The Romans have been defeated, up to his saying, the believers will rejoice. He said, so the believers were happy with the victory of the Romans over the Persians. Guys, read this carefully. When did Muhammad receive this revelation, according to Jami' Tirmidhi 2935? What is this? This is after the Romans won their victory. After the Romans came back and won, that's when Muhammad received his revelation saying, oh yeah, the Romans will make a comeback and defeat the Persians. It's after the Romans had their victory over the Persians. It's just basically recapping what happened.
The Quran doesn't say that that iron comes from outer space.
I got the passages right here, baby. What? Good.
It doesn't say any of that. What it says is that Allah sent down iron. That's what it says.
Surah 57, verse 25. What happens when you actually start at the beginning? Indeed, we sent our messengers with clear signs, and we sent down with them the book and the balance so that men might uphold justice. What does sent down mean? According to the argument, when he says sent down iron, it means sent down from outer space. And how could Muhammad have known that iron comes from outer space? Keep in mind, if that's what you think sent down means, in the very same verse, it's talking about other things Allah sent down, and it's his messengers. Allah's messengers, ladies and gentlemen, come from outer space, and they're sent from outer space with the book and the balance. Suppose that when the Quran said that Allah sent down iron, it actually meant sent down from outer space. And you said, how could anyone have known this? Guess what? Everyone knew that. The early source of iron was meteorites. Back then, the early source of iron was from space. And they knew it. They'd see a meteorite fall to the ground. They go over there. Oh, this is really good metal. And they call, matter of fact, do not take my word for this. Iron was known as metal of heaven. It was known as metal from heaven. The ancient cultures, they all called it something like metal from the sky or metal from heaven or something like that. Why? Because it came from meteorites. If the Quran got this right, it would just be saying something that everyone else already thought. Problem is, it's not what the Quran is saying at all. The Quran isn't even saying that iron came from space. It's just God providing things. God providing things from you. That's what it basically means. You don't believe me? Let's check out the various uses of Allah sending things down. 222. Who has made the earth your couch and the heavens your canopy and sent down rain from the heavens? 257. And we caused the white cloud to overshadow you and sent down on you the manna and the quails. Sent down what? Manna and quails. From where? Well, it says sent down, so it's got to be from outer space. So manna and quails come from outer space, ladies and gentlemen. 39:6. He created you all from a single person, then created of like nature his mate, and he sent down for you 8 head of cattle in pairs. Where do cows come from? According to our Muslim friends, outer space. This is the proof. This is the verse that Muslims say says that the universe is expanding. We have built the heaven with might, and we it is who make the vast extent thereof. Where does that say the universe is expanding? With power did we construct the heaven. Verily, we are able to extend the vastness of space. There it's translated as we are able to extend. M.H. Shakir, and the heaven, we raised it high with power, and most surely we are the makers of things ample. Saying, hey, God is the maker of things ample. Does that tell you that the universe is expanding? No. Sher Ali, and we have built the heavens with our own hands, and verily, we have vast powers. But we get down to the Khalifa version. So the Khalifa translation made by someone who is regarded as a heretic was actually they're Muslims. And this is the guy who's famous for his miracle of the number 19. And he's actually like taking verses out of the Quran to try and get these multiples of 19 and so on. So this guy's 20th century deliberately messing with the Quran in order to get people to believe in it. And he's the one who says, we constructed the sky with our hands and we will continue to expand it. A guy who is known for fabricating his translations and so on. Is any of these verses, any of these besides the Khalifa say that the universe is expanding? No. So if the Quran clearly says the universe is expanding, why does no one translate it that way until the 20th century, after it's been discovered, and then Khalifa, in order to impress people, translates it as expand it, and then for generations, Muslims, this is the proof that the universe is expanding. And if you want to, guys, you have to pay attention to the next part, because what this is actually saying, hey, he made a big heaven and then he spread out a nice big earth. If you wanted to translate it as something that's ongoing and is continuing to happen, what would you do with this? And the earth we have laid out. How gracious is the spreader? And we have laid out the spacious earth. How excellent we spread it out? If you want to say this is continuate, then great. The universe, the earth is spreading out too. It's still going. The earth is getting bigger. The earth is growing right now. He just said these are miracles that we cannot deny. We went through 4 of them. They were the dumbest things ever, but they're standard dawah. It's not like, oh, he's dumb.